Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. To all of our regular viewers, we really do appreciate your continued support. If you're tuning in for the first time, we are the Kenna family, an adventurous family of 5 from Northern Ireland who just love to travel. We've been creating informative and helpful travel vlogs for a few years now and have loads of playlists on the channel already, including Series 2, Disney World Florida, Universal Resort Orlando, cruises from Port Canaveral, and other trips including Las Vegas and Dubai. As well as making amazing family memories and having a laugh along the way, we try to provide as many hints, tips, tricks and hacks to help you get the most out of your valuable vacation time. In my opinion, one of the best things about an Orlando holiday? The food. But choosing where to eat can be a nightmare with thousands of restaurants to choose from. We've done detailed restaurant reviews on over 30 restaurants we've eaten in from our previous trips. Hopefully these will help you decide where might be an option for you or not. So if you enjoy Disney, Universal or cruising or just fun, family-friendly holiday content in general, you're in the right place. You're going to want to hit that subscribe button and come along with us. Guys, if you're watching this, then I guess you've booked a cruise on the beautiful MSC Seashore, or at the very least, you're considering doing so. We boarded a 4-night cruise on the MSC Seashore, sailing from Port Canaveral and taking in Ocean Cay Marine Reserve in the Bahamas, that's their private island, as well as Nassau in the Bahamas. Choosing the right cabin type can massively impact your cruise experience, and with over 11 different cabin types on this Evo class ship, I'm going to try and help you narrow that down a little bit today. Regulars to the channel will know we're a family of 5, so we needed 2 cabins and we opted for an interior cabin as well as a balcony cabin. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a full tour of our interior cabin, which was cabin number 10237 on deck 10. Do also consider that interior cabins can vary quite a bit depending on where they are on the ship. It's not just the room itself. We felt decks 9 to 12 were perfect in relation to quietness and convenience for access to the facilities. So guys, first impressions as we entered the cabin were actually really positive. It seemed really bright and well lit compared to other interior cabins we've seen on different ships. We definitely felt the light coloured furnishings and the huge wall mirror certainly helped give the impression of more space in this cabin. So right here in the centre of the room at the foot of the bed, you're going to have the TV on the wall. This is a 32-inch smart TV and it is on an adjustable stand, so you can turn it around depending where you are in the room. There's a decent sized desk here, and this is where you're going to find most of the plugs. There's 2 American plugs and 2 European plugs. The mini fridge was a decent size and it was colder than most ship coolers. Moving on to the wardrobe, this is a decent size. You can see this left hand side, there's loads of drawers, shelves and your safe. On the right hand side is where you hang your longer items and plenty of hangers provided. Coming back to this vanity unit, there's a huge mirror on the wall. You can see there's a little stool underneath there to sit there and get ready of an evening. These 3 drawers here for additional storage are a decent size, and of course you've seen there, this is where we find the hairdryer. My wife and my daughter both have long hair and they said the hairdryer is plenty strong enough. The thermostat's on this wall just outside the bathroom, and we thought the air conditioning worked perfectly well. It's pretty strong. Just there on the wall as you enter the room is where you put your key card to control electricity within the room. There's 3 hooks provided behind the door just to hang anything up. Let's move into the bathroom. I know this is important for a lot of cruisers, so let's have a look. Again, first impressions, pretty positive. The light decor continues in here, lovely brown tiles. Again, it's really well lit, which gives the impression of more space. Moving into the shower, you have your standard shower. We had no issues at all with hot water or the water pressure in this bathroom, no problem at all. There's a handrail on the side and a foot bar for convenience in case you need to shave your legs. Shampoo and shower gel is provided. The toilet is standard as expected. Again, we had no issues there. And then moving round to the sink unit. Again, decent sized sink, spare storage space underneath, and then on the wall there's racks for the towels and a couple of shelves here for keeping your toiletries. When you first enter the room, you're going to find pool towels and information on your cruise and shore excursions sitting on your bed. If you have any kids in your party, they will have a wristband here that has to go on them so they know what age they are for the kids club and things like that. These beds are raised up enough to give you room to store your suitcases underneath as well. So guys, just to summarise, let's face it, interior cabins are undoubtedly normally the cheapest cabins on the whole ship. Some of the things you're worried about in an interior cabin is how dark it's going to be. This is a really bright, airy, well-lit cabin, and that big mirror certainly gives the impression of more space than there is. The light furnishings certainly help with that, so you didn't feel claustrophobic in here at all. People can often be concerned about storage. Again, no concerns here. Big double wardrobe, plenty of drawers, plenty of shelves for additional storage. No concerns at all. Put your suitcases under the bed, loads of space here. Mini fridge was cold, probably the coldest out of any ship we sailed on so far, to be honest. Plenty of outlets with 2 American, 2 European, and there was a cableless charging dock on that desk, and the bathroom was a decent size. We certainly wouldn't put you off booking this type of room, but is it worth paying a bit more and upgrading to a balcony cabin? Find out in our next video when we're going to give you a full tour of room 10239, which is our balcony cabin on deck 10. You're not going to want to miss this one. We absolutely love this room. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed our interior cabin tour video. If you did, please make sure you give the video a like, and if you have any questions at all, just drop them in the comment section below and we'll get back to every single one of those as quickly as we can. If you are cruising on the MSC Seashore soon or considering doing so, we've just completed a full family vlog series on our 4-night sailing from Port Canaveral. Videos we posted as part of this series include a tour of our pre-cruise hotel from Port Canaveral, which had the most amazing rooftop terrace with views of all the cruise ships. Absolutely beautiful. We have an embarkation day video which shows the whole process. This is our first ever MSC cruise, and we took part in the best sail away party we've ever had so far. Of course, we checked out the Marketplace buffet for lunch and then did the main dining room for dinner that night, as well as exploring the ship. That's one not to be missed if you're cruising on the MSC Seashore. Our first port was Ocean Cay. This is their private island, a marine reserve in the Bahamas, and this has to be the most serene island we've been to in the Bahamas so far. Absolutely beautiful. We have a sea day to explore the ship and enjoy all the facilities and all the fun that's available on the ship before our final video, which is at Nassau, Bahamas. I know a lot of people like to skip this port, but we honestly had the best day at the Pirate Museum and at the Queen's Staircase. If you're cruising this itinerary or just on the ship itself, make sure you go across to the channel and subscribe so you can watch all those videos. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.